Welcome to HomeFront SitRep. I hope you're in for a great show today, because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront SitRep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Still in the fight, different battlefield, same damn life. No spotlight shining on the ones who serve, just great sacrifice and a whole lot of nerve. From small town shops to a helping hand, we're lifting each other, yeah, that's the plan. No red tape, no filter, no disguise, just truth in the fire behind our eyes. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the scars we carry to the lives we reveal, from the weight of silence to the strength of will. Non-profits grinding, boots on the street, no headlines chasing, just mission complete. Veteran alone, still chasing the dream. From a mic to a message, we're building a team. Creators and fighters, yeah, we all belong. Turn the pain into purpose, turn the hurt into song. No politics, no games, no divide. Just warriors standing side by side. This is HomeFront SitRep, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is HomeFront SitRep. But we don't forget, we don't walk away. We carry each other through every day. From combat boots to a boss to a seat, still standing tall, still hard to defeat. Real stories, real impact, real people. This ain't just a podcast. This is a movement. This is HomeFront SitRep, loud and clear, for the ones still fighting year after year. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is HomeFront SitRep. Yeah, we rise, we grind, no regret. Welcome to HomeFront SitRep.
Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of HomeFront SitRep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, welcome back, and how are you doing, sir?
I would like to say I'm rested. I would like to say that my mental state is good, but it's just not there, man. You know, it's just that date every year just creeps up on you, and one of those things. But I had a ton of people reach out, and I'm very thankful and grateful for everybody that did. And on every platform, whether it was the socials or phone or a call or, email or whatever. But yeah, just busy weekend, man. Friday morning, got up, took off to Florida, went to the show spot, got that done. Saturday morning, jumped on another plane, came home. And then yesterday, just got up and I didn't stop. I mean, I barely even got my workout in because I didn't do it Friday because I'm traveling. Didn't do it Saturday because I'm traveling. So barely got it in yesterday and just running all over God's creation. Same thing today, running all over everywhere. I finished dinner and logged on here. So yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's just it's one of those things, man. And just even today, just calling and texting and trying to get stuff lined up for Warrior Weekend, stuff to get lined up for Warriors on a Cruise, trying to figure out what we can shoot mile, getting Fast Tracks bottle, excuse me, back on the floor at J Matt for sale. So yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah, yeah. So I sent you a text. I knew you were busy. I was like, I'm just going to shoot him a text, make sure he's good. And I knew you would respond when you could, and we carried on a little conversation there via the text message there, just to make sure you were good. And uh, I was like, man, he's stupid busy, and I know it's only going to get busier for you because busy season is coming for you, and
Yeah.
it's coming with vengeance.
It's
Uh,
coming quick too, man. I mean,
yeah,
April's next week, right? So it's like, holy cow, what am I gonna do? But I've got a trip with the wife and I for a marriage retreat reunion thing. So we'll be going to Florida for that. Just her and I, doing some more reconnecting away from the boys, away from the craziness that's happening here in
right.
Northern Kentucky and in our lives. But we take off to Maine on this coming Saturday. So I'm up
Yeah.
there for 4 or 5 days with my family. So drive up, drive back, right? There's 32 hours on the road total.
Oof, that's
And
a
then
long trip.
the end of next month, take off to Japan for a week, come back. And then I think I have something else in May. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've got a fishing trip at the end of the month. And then in June, I take off to Europe for 10 days, right? And then come back.
Yeah.
And we've got all the 4th of July stuff we have to do. I think there's like 7 shows on our schedule right now for that.
Mm,
Um, and it's all over the place. It's not just local. And then,
yeah.
you know, August happens, right? And August it's college football. So
Yeah. Yeah, you're
I'll
gonna
see
be
you. I guess I'll see you in mid-November.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna be super busy. I just talked with, Sandy from, Valor Vacations earlier today. Sent in my client package with my family and, sent it to our friends because 'cause we're booking a cruise for high school graduation because my
Yeah.
youngest is getting ready to graduate this year. So, I was on the phone with Sandy for probably about 45 minutes earlier today. Great conversation. And, we talked about places we've been, because we've been to a lot of places that she's been to. And
Right.
I've been places that she hasn't been yet, but she plans on visiting. And so it was a great conversation. And, they were pretty prompt because I texted Kevin first because I had his phone number. I was like, hey, this is what we're thinking. This is, and I should send him a screenshot of the cruise that we picked, and he's like, "Oh, we'll reach out to Sandy." So I reached out to Sandy and got all of that taken care of. So just a great day. And then this weekend wasn't too terrible for me. I don't have to do all the things that you got to do. And
But it was because, and I hope your wife is listening. I truly do, because I feel so sorry that that blue and white team from south of me got knocked out. I mean, it hurts my heart so bad.
yeah, well, I will tell you, I was scared for Duke for a little bit. I was
Yeah. Oh,
scared.
for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's 2 starters out, and I was like, "Oh, man, this
Yeah,
is
I
not
was
gonna
I
be
was
good."
definitely once I knew Louisville was gonna I knew Louisville was gonna win first round. Second round, I said, "If Michigan State makes it, we're gonna lose." Michigan State won, we lost. Of
Yeah.
course, I will tell you that our star guard, "Oh, my back is hurting, my back." No, his back wasn't hurting, he just didn't wanna play.
No.
Uh, so so I knew right away we were losing the second round, and I was just like, "Man," and I was rooting for Kentucky to lose, don't tell my wife,
Of course you were. We all know
uh,
this.
I was rooting for Kentucky to lose, and then, of course, I hate Duke. I know you love Duke, but I was rooting for Duke to lose.
Uh,
But it was scary there for a minute, it was like, eh. But,
yeah.
it was overall good weekend. She just commented.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
I
no,
can't
she
even say
did.
that. I can't even say that, just because. Um,
Donkey.
Donkey,
Well, actually, that's a
donkey.
mule, right? It's a mule.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. But no, man, great weekend of basketball. I will tell you the University of Louisville women's basketball team, won their second round game, so they're moving on, so I'm super
I think the
excited for
Duke
that.
women did too.
Oh, she can hear. She said she can hear me. I think Duke women won, the Kentucky girls won as well, I believe. So they're moving on to the next round. So overall, March Madness is friggin' awesome. Um, Trip Hamilton, welcome to the show. Um, Tactical combat cannabis care. That's my ideal. Awesome. Heck yeah. So tonight we got another great veteran coming in and talking and telling about his brand. Adam Peters, known as the strategic veteran, um, brings direct, no excuses approach rooted in the same principles that define military success: clarity of mission, discipline, execution, and unwavering accountability. But this time, the battlefield is different. It's the civilian world where structure is handed to you, identity isn't defined for you, and success depends on how well you can adapt, plan, and execute on your own terms. So super, super cool. I'm super excited about this episode. I think this is going to be, and another good thing is he's part of the HMG family. So I'm super excited about that. Mr. Adam Bird, go check out heroesmediagroup.com. Super excited to bring Adam up to the stage, man. Are we ready,
Yeah.
Gunny?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that I missed last night for sure. I just yeah, if I'm not in the right headspace, I'm not gonna get on here because I'm just gonna be looking here like,
No,
no,
you
nobody
were
wants to see that. Nobody wants to see
yeah,
that. But
dude, I knew when Friday was the day, um, of your live day. I was
yeah.
like, Gunny's more than likely not gonna come on Sunday. I already knew. I was ready for it.
Well, if
Uh,
it wasn't for the travel, right? If I
yeah,
would have been home, I would have been fine, right? Because I would have had those days here at the house to just decompress, be at one of my thoughts, just go over the sequence of events because I do every year, right? And every year it's the same conclusion. It's not my fault, right? And I know that it's not my fault, and that there's guys that are still alive today because of the decision I made, even though that decision ended up sending me home. I get it,
right.
but there's still, go through that chain of events of that whole day, not just the event, but that entire day. Is there something I missed? Is there something I could have done different? Right? We always do that, right? Look, hindsight, but,
Yeah,
had I had the time at home and not been busy, and it was a good busy, right? Because it was work and it was for a good cause. It was a fundraising event for World Polo League down there in Wellington, Florida. Had I had the time, absolutely, I would have been here, but not having that time to just think about everything and go
yeah.
over everything and just decompress. That was, yeah, again, not a good headspace and not a place that anybody needed me to be.
Yeah, there was no no need to apologize. I completely understand.
Yeah,
And
because
our guest understood
August,
too.
I'm
So
gone anyway, so
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, so let's bring our guest up. We ready? We
yeah, man.
ready? Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
I'm great, man. Great start to this. So I got to agree with a lot of things Samuel said. And man, just not showing up last night and choosing yourself over the I should be or I have to.
Yeah.
Good for you, man, because that's like the thing I'm working on this year is getting rid of the I should be, the I have to.
Yeah.
It's something that took me a long time, and it's learning how to say no is
Yeah,
the
man.
biggest thing, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that get asked of all of us, right? Whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's you know podcast, it's work. It's that moment where you're like, you know what, I need time for me, so it's going to be a no for tonight, but I will be there tomorrow, right? And it's something that took me a very long time to do, and actually, it was COVID that taught me to say no because everything was closed, and I realized how much I missed here at home while I was gone. Right, my kids playing sports, my kids, needing help with whatever, or teaching them something about vehicles and maintenance and all this other stuff, and it's like wow, I missed all this. I missed all these opportunities because I dedicated myself to work. And now I don't have to do that. It's like, you know what? No, I'm good. But I'm not going to say no to going to Japan. I'm not going to say no to any of that stuff. It's a great time, and I love what we do for a job, and when it becomes a job, I'll stop. You know.
Isn't it cool how learning how to say no makes you more present?
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it took me a little while to learn how to say no to things because my wife will tell you if she's still watching, I have what we call an addictive personality. So like when I get into something like when I was doing the volunteering and working with nonprofits, I dove head first, 10 toes deep in it, and everything revolved around doing things for that nonprofit and even missing things for the wife and kids. I was doing stuff for the nonprofit, and then of course, I loved when they come and they were there with me doing that, but I also had to learn, hey, I need to step back some. And then when I started the podcast, what 2 or 3 years, a little over 3 years ago, I dove headfirst into this, and it finally got to the point where the wife was like, "Hey, bro, you need to chill out some," because I mean, we went from one a week to two a week, and I didn't tell nobody I was going to two a week. And then we went from two a week to four a week. And my wife is like, bro, you need to chill it. So we went back down to two a week, and that's where we've been at. So, but yeah, you just got to learn how to say no. So first, I'm going to get into the show. So I want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with Gunny and I for this hour here. Do me a favor and introduce yourself to the world of HomeFront SitRep if you don't mind.
Yeah, man. My name is Adam Peters. I served in the United States Army for almost 13 years as an infantryman. I did 4 deployments, 3 to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan for almost 50 months of combat time. And everything I've built is kind of in my own struggle, getting medically retired in 2015, struggling for 8.5 years to follow TAP's blueprint, if you will, to then 4 years after college ends, not being handed a 6-figure job, being told no a lot, nobody wanted to hire me type deal, to ultimately almost killing myself, going down to Peru with Heroic Hearts Project, having some ayahuasca, and changing the entire trajectory of my life. That's a little small piece of who I am and how I ended up here. And I'm very grateful to be invited to hang out with you guys tonight, man. I'm very grateful for you guys' time as well. So thank you.
Yeah. What year did you get medically retired?
2015. So I joined June 24th of 2003. I was medically retired November 2nd of 2015. So 12 and a half years, almost 13. I just rounded up. It's an even or it's an odd number, but it's easier to say.
Well, right. and the reason I asked, so I was medically retired. 14 and change, but I retired in 11. October 1 is my actual retirement day. So September 30th is my last day on active duty. Just, again, the TAPS, the SEPs, the retirement seminar just didn't do anything for me, right? And it may, if you're doing 4 years, right, and you're getting out and you've only been out of society, truly out of society for those 4 years. But when you're over 8, 10, 12 years out of society, out of a normal, it's hard. And you're never going to be, back in society because you were never there, because most people leave right out of high school. Right.
So I wanted to talk about that since you're bringing it up, man. That's the biggest thing that I found that really contributed to my own struggle is I joined at 17. I was on a mission to try and go to basic training between my junior and senior year. That summer, I had a buddy of mine who I really admired. He's really high up in the Space Force now. His name's Alex Burkle. He did this. I watched him on the wrestling team go to basic training junior, senior year, and then I don't remember how it works. Anyway, I tried to do the same thing. I missed the ship day. If I'd have gone to MEPS a day earlier, I would have been able to accomplish it. So I got put on the delayed entry program for a year. So that's where my indoctrination actually started at 17 years old. And then I graduate high school. I'm barely 18 when I graduate. I think I've been 18 for like 3 or 4 days. 30 days after that, I'm at Sand Hill at Fort Benning, Georgia, right? So I've talked about this very publicly on my own show. Like, I was set up for failure because I never had the college experience to build an identity outside of the United States Army and being an infantryman in support of the global war on terror. So when you do that from 17 to 30 years old, and there's no off ramp for a med board. It's just like one day you're seeing the surgeon, he's telling you you're going to get med boarded, and you're in the process. Everybody hates you. You're not useful anymore. You're an outcast. You're sent to range control. You're ostracized from your unit. And then you have the pull of, I don't like to say that I was a good leader. However, the people that I led keep coming back to me and telling me I was a good leader. So they're in your ear like, hey, Sergeant Peters, you have to leave. Can you just stay? It's going to suck without you here. So you're battling the being ostracized, but also the being wanted and needed, right? By the Joes that you're leading or whatever. And so you have no idea what your identity is. And so when your whole career is filled with, I mean, just combat and a mission and all of that. And then you're just left standing with your dick in your hand on November 2nd, 2015. I'll never forget it. It's 13:30. I'm sitting on my bed. I'm supposed to be going back to formation, for work call after lunch. And now it's just quiet. And I have no structure. I have no mission. I have no plan. I have no idea what to do. Like, what do I do with my hands kind of thing?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm glad you brought it up, Gunny.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, my process took a little over 2.5 years because I ended up having to keep having surgeries. But from the time my paperwork came back to the time that I was actually retired was like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, by the way, your paperwork's here. Check out. You still have leave on the books you have to burn.
Yeah.
So, 2 days. 2 days check out and I'm gone. I'm home. The UPS guy delivered my retirement stuff.
And dude, it's so fast your head spins. You sit around, because my med board took 18 months. My stuff got lost in digital land, but as soon as that actually hit, it's like, oh, you got to get out of there. I mean, I lost 45 days of leave because I didn't have the time to take it, and I couldn't sell any more back, kind of deal, right? So I really resonate with what you're saying.
Yeah. So when I got out, my first time I did 4 years, 2 months. I had to extend to go on a med float, so. I did 4 years, 2 months. When I got out the first time, it was basically, I think, 30 days terminal leave. So before that, I was turning in on my gear. I didn't go through like any kind of SEPs or TAPs because it wasn't even maybe an hour seminar or something of that nature, but I don't remember. And then after 9/11, I got recalled back in, and I was in until the end of 2003, 2004, and we still didn't have anything, SEPs or TAPs or anything like that for separating. And it's just like, hey, wait a minute. So I'm in a little bit of different category than you guys when it comes to my separation, which I know when, you guys had a little bit of SEPs and TAPs. When did that come around? When did SEPs and TAPs come around?
So TAP originally was formed in 2011 and revamped in 2014. So I don't even know if Gunny would have gone through a TAP.
I did the retirement seminar because they knew I was getting medically retired. So I didn't have to do the separations and transition. I just did the seminar. Yeah.
So and like I said, I mean, it was formed in 2011. And revamped in 2014, but all the data, and you can go find it. You can just do a quick Google search. It'll tell you what a colossal failure.
None of it works.
Actually, are. Yeah, it's awful. It's just, and look, I don't want to talk shit about it per se, but it's a blanket fix for what's an individual problem, and it really is a check the block thing to cover your ass for the military, right? DOD or DOW now, whatever they're calling it. That's what it is, and I get this pushback all the time because this is what I talk about on my platform all the time. The older guys, the Vietnam guys, the Desert Storm guys, and some of the early GWAT guys will be like, well, the military's not in the business of teaching you how to be a civilian. They're in the business of teaching you how to be a warfighter. And it's like, well, it's kind of their responsibility because they made me this way. And also they fail to realize that we're a national security concern because we are our nation's greatest recruitment tool. So if you're treating us this poorly, you're hamstringing your recruiting, which is a national security issue.
Yeah. And what I will say to everybody that's saying it's not their job, they took my youth, right?
All of it.
I gave my country my youth. I gave the Marine Corps my youth.
Yeah.
I left the day after I graduated high school. I was off to MEPS. The next day I was off to Parris Island. 2 days after graduating high school, I'm standing on the footprints at Parris Island. I went from a high school student to a recruit to a basically trained Marine to an infantry Marine, and that's all I knew for, hold on, I got to do the math, 9+ years.
Yeah.
And then I moved over to the Osprey, and that's all I knew for 5 years, even though it was still all leadership stuff. But I never had the opportunity to be an adult civilian.
Yep.
Right. Because there's structure in every single thing we do. I wasn't a friggin' reservist. I didn't go home. I didn't play 1 week in a month, 2 weeks of the year. Of course, 9/11 happens, and then that changed the realm of reserves and National Guard and stuff. I get that. But when they came home, they went back to their job. They went back to their communities. When I came home, I went back to base.
Yep.
And
Back to
learned
training.
Yes, training
Back
for the
to a
next
deployment.
right?
Yeah.
So I will say this. If they're going to train us to go and win battles or potentially win battles in some god-awful land, they need to spend more time on us to become contributing members of society after we get out.
Yeah. I
So
couldn't agree more.
there's a comment on TikTok from Echo Whiskey 0311. Yes, but we made that decision. They did not take it. And he's right.
Anyway,
So I'm like you guys. Like as soon as I graduated, so I was the delayed entry program too. So I joined. I guess at the end of middle of my junior year, I was like, hey, I want to be a Marine. So went in the delayed entry program. Of course, we couldn't go through boot camp in between. It was that's something the Marine Corps didn't do.
it's because ours is 13 weeks, not 8 or 9.
Yeah. And so I was on the delayed entry program where I had to go to the recruiter station, do all the PT stuff all before, I had to do all of that as a pulley. And then, 2 weeks after graduation, I was in Parris Island. That's where I met this guy. That's where me and him met there. And even when I got out the first time, so I got out in 2001 the first time. 9/11 happened right after because I got out in August. 9/11 happened right after. And, it's like, oh man, what do I do? So I didn't really have time to reacclimate to civilian world. And then even when I got out the second time after that, my brain was just so jacked from the stuff that we did see while we were in. I just couldn't reacclimate to the civilian world because one, I'm a Marine. The things have to be this way. It's got to be so structured. You just don't have that. You don't have that mentality to readjust a civilian world, right? You can't throw knife hands at civilians because then you're going to hurt their feelings and stuff.
I mean, you can.
You can,
sure
but
can.
I mean, I do very often.
But you're going to hurt their feelings, and it's just
I don't care about your feelings.
Right.
I really don't. It is
So
your
even-
job to control your feelings, not mine.
So even Julie, my wife, she'll tell me, she goes, well, you can change the way you think about things. It's like, no, I can't. She goes, babe, you've been out since 2004. And I'm like, I still can't change. It's just who I am. It's like in my DNA now, and it's just like, oh man. So, all right, let's hit the first point I want to talk about. And we're kind of already talking about it a little bit. Why so many veterans struggle after leaving the military and how to fix. I know this is something you talk
Leaders
a lot about
don't
on
do
your
their
stuff.
job. That's the bottom line. Leaders do not do their job.
I don't, I think I got to push back on that, Gunny, because I don't know that I do think that leaders are a part of the problem. I don't think all leaders, I think the bigger issue is it's what we've been talking about. Your identity's handed to you from the minute that you walk into the military. It was the same for you and for Willis and myself. We were the best infantrymen that we could be for the United States Army in support of the global war on terror. So for your 14 and a half years, for my 13 years, that's all we knew. And then it ends, particularly in a med board, right? So you didn't have the formative years of 4 years of college where you're away from the authority of your parents. yeah, you have the authority of the college, but let's be honest, is that really authority, right? You're free to develop.
They don't care as long as you're paying them their money.
Yeah, for sure. So I think you're free to develop some sort of identity, figure out who you are as a person without all the other shit going on, right? Like for us, it's like every decision that I make as a young private, as a team leader, as a squad leader, as a platoon sergeant, somebody else's life is on the line for that, right? Where else in the world do you get that at 17, 18 years old? You don't. You don't.
Corporate America, you're not even allowed to make a cup of coffee at 21. So let's be clear.
You know what I'm saying? So I really think that's why transition is so hard, and we all get so lost and struggle, is because our identity has just been given to us for our entire careers. And I really don't care if you did 2 years and got out, or you did 22 years and retired. It's kind of the same. I mean, it doesn't take that long to indoctrinate people. For you guys, it's 13 weeks of basic training. For me, it was 16 weeks at OSIT, right? To be an infantryman in the Army, 16 weeks is all it takes for them to break you down and rebuild you in the image that they want you to, where you follow orders, you don't question authority, and you just follow instructions. And so I really think that that's where they get it wrong in TAP is they're telling you, hey, you did all this time, you've got these benefits, use the GI Bill, go to school, get the degree, you're a veteran, everybody's going to want to hire you, you'll make six figures, congratulations, you're successful. But we're leaving out that one big piece. I don't want to do what I just did for 22 years. I can't do that, because what does an 11 Bravo have that
Nothing.
really you know what I'm saying? Like,
Nothing.
yes, you can get creative with AI and stuff right now, translate 11 Bravo skills into something that will get you a job on a resume, but it's not the same, right? Like, you get into that job, you're not kicking doors in and shooting people in the face.
But you're not
right?
translating the skills.
Exactly.
You're translating the intangibles.
Exactly.
Because
right.
none of the tangible skills that we learn as an infantryman directly go to a job unless you're going to be a contractor somewhere.
Right. Which, why would I want to go do the same thing that just broke me? You know?
Right.
Like,
Right.
So I think we're missing that key. Like, how do you discover your identity? And then it's three major things, really: identity, purpose, and community. Loss of community / network, or just not knowing how to build a network. And I'm a big proponent for the network piece, because I started with nothing and built a really large network that generates opportunity in mass. It's incredible. You guys probably know, right? Like, having a large network, it's not just collecting people if you build it the right way. It's opportunity machine. And so I think that's what we need to be focusing on. And really, it's what I try to do with all the opportunity that's in front of me and the obligations that I've managed to get myself, is I try to get in front of our brothers and sisters and just tell them the truth. Like, hey, you're going to go through this TAB program and it's not going to help you. And look, I did this almost 11 years ago now. I'm talking about it 11 years later, and I'm getting all the feedback from people who are going through it saying, you're exactly right. Nothing has changed. Right. So, that's kind of my thought on it. Hopefully that answered the question.
Yeah.
So when I said that, it's not just your infantry unit leader, right? It's not your platoon sergeant. It's not your platoon commander. It's your battalion commander. It's your regimental commander. It's the brigade commander, right?
Yes.
Those are the ones that have the opportunity to affect the change, right? It's the chief of staff. It's the sergeant major of whatever. They're the ones, right? So that, and it just all trickles down, right? So even as a private, a PFC, an E3 PFC, right? A corporal, a specialist, a sergeant, a staff sergeant, a first class, a gunny, whatever. There's somebody over you the entire time telling you what you have to do.
Everybody's got
a training schedule somewhere saying, okay, X platoon needs to do this on this day. Or, hey, second platoon, you're cleaning weapons today. Well, we just did that yesterday. Well, they're dirty. I guarantee you, I know how to clean my weapon, and the thing's not dirty. I know it's not, right? So yes, and to go back to the other statement that the person made on TikTok, if he goes back and listens, I did fix myself and said I gave, because it was my choice to do so. But he
agreed.
There is I spent 14 plus years, right? All the way to Gunny, training, leading, mentoring Marines. There was I can't remember if he was Air Force or Navy psychologist that did a study and it said, you know, for someone who's in the Air Force that does 6 years, we're going to go off of a 6-year deal. It's going to take them about 6 months to reacclimate back to be a contributing member of society. Just because the Air Force is more like corporate America, right? For the Army and the Navy, it was close. It was, I think it was 1 month, 1 year per year to reacclimate back. And he said, Marines will never, just because of what we go through. So you was 16 weeks, but that's your boot camp and your AIT, right?
Yeah.
So just boot camp for us is 13 weeks. And then when Willis and I went through, it was either 7 or 8 weeks of infantry training, right? So we're looking at 20 to 21 weeks before we even get to the fleet,
right,
and do our job. So it's just crazy that there's so many studies out there, and each branch of service knows that there's an issue with the transition, or you know, the SEPs and TAPs, whatever you want to call it, because they're like, it's not 1400 anymore, it's 2 p.m. I'm like,
no, it's 1400 because
it's
that actually
1400 because, well, if most time clocks are based off of a 24-hour clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense, right?
You know?
Now I don't have to tell you AM or PM. You just know. Like, it just makes way more sense.
It makes
and pushing back on that TikTok comment, I don't think any of us understood what we were giving up.
Oh, no, for sure.
Like there's you can't. I mean, particularly with 22 years of war, like none of us ever saw that coming either, right? Like that's.
I mean, I joined before it even happened.
Right. Right. I mean,
I was on recruiting duty on my second enlistment when the events of September 11th happened.
That's insane.
Right. I had already deployed to Greece and to Korea and Japan and to Haiti, right? Doing sometimes real world stuff, right? But when we were in Korea, we're training with Republic of Korea Marines. When we were in Okinawa, Japan, we're training in the jungles of Okinawa, Japan. When we went to Haiti, we were doing humanitarian security / support. But we saw some stuff down there that changes a person, period. Right.
And especially with that being our first like major deployment outside of the United States.
Well, that was the first real world. I mean, other than Japan and Korea.
Yeah.
Well, we can even look at this from, I don't know how it works in the Marine Corps, but I assume you have stop loss, just like we do in the Army.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So it is a fair statement to say that they took your youth, because I can count, I think there are more people that were stop loss during GWAT that ended up on longer contracts, years longer than they should have been, because the Army said, hey, you're going to go on. Look, it happened to me. I came back from my second deployment, finally got orders to get out of Fort Stewart. They stopped moving me after I turned in all my TA-50 to clear posts, sent me to NTC, and then put me on a plane straight back to Iraq for a third time. It's like, hey, Sergeant Major, I'm not trying to get out of anything. I'm going to a unit that's deploying to Afghanistan as soon as I get there. Like, can you just let me go to another post?
Yeah.
Nope. We got to send you back to Iraq. It's like, for what? Like, I don't know. I think it was a fair statement what you said, and none of us could have ever known.
Yeah, I mean, so I ended up being a recruiter, and I know some of the things that selling points, right, that we use as recruiters, and they're the same selling points that the recruiter used when he was trying to get me, even though I walked in the office and said, this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to go, right? Pre-war, pre-anything, right? 1997, nothing's friggin' happening anywhere. And that hasn't changed very much. But what I can say is, when you're asked a question from an applicant, when you're asked a question from the parent, I never sugarcoated anything. I told them the truth. When they asked what a training day looked like at boot camp, I told them what the training day looked like. Did I fill in the negative space and downtime, and you're making friggin' sugar cookies of yourself in the sandpit and digging graves for fleas and black flies? No, because that's not sexy. That's not what sells the branch of service, right? You know, did I tell them when you get to the fleet, if you're a PFC and E2 and you have to be on a working party, you're going to be shining the first sergeant shit can outside of his office because it's one of those old metal galvanized steel trash cans, and you got to be sitting there with Brasso and scrubbing it? No. I mean, come on.
The glory of being in the military.
Does the used car salesman tell you everything that was wrong with that car when you're buying it? No. Does the new car salesman say, hey, there's like 15 recalls that are on this Toyota Tundra right now?
Nope.
Before it even leaves the lot? No. So get real. Be real.
Right. Oh, I love it, man.
So the comment, Seps and Taps was about useless. And then also, come on, if it worked for me. I would say most infantry vets, when they get out of service, go into security, contractor, or police force.
Yeah,
So
but it's
That's
still
absolutely true,
yeah.
and they're completely miserable because it's not what they want to be doing.
It's not the
It's
same.
where they
Right.
fit. It's a box they get shoved in. And
It's where they fit, where their mentality fits, right? For the most part.
And I can show you, it's not just security, it's not just police force. Sales, high pressure sales is another one that they get funneled into. Guilty as charged, ended up in a shitty side of insurance, whatever. The problem is, honestly, and I wish I'd have known this is why I do everything I do. I wish somebody would have sat down and looked me in the eye and said, Adam, what do you want to do with your life? Not preached at me, you need to go do this, you need to go do this. And this applies, I am adamant, this is the hill I die on. It applies to mother, father, brother, sister, spouse, kids. I do not care who is in your ear when you're getting out. The only person that matters is the person that's looking back in the mirror at you. So go look yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, and ask yourself, what do I want to be doing with my life? It's one of my favorite exercises to do with veterans who actually reach out and want my advice, because when you give them the freedom and the power to choose what their life looks like in front of them, you just see their eyes light up, because nobody's ever given them permission to do that before. And I wish somebody would have done that for me.
Yeah. And so I had one person early on in my career that's like, I don't like this infantry stuff. I think I'm going to go be a crew chief on the 46. And I'm like, you can do that? You can move jobs? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And Tim went and did that. And what's funny is years later, like so this was probably 2000 time frame, 99, 2000 time frame. Fast forward to, let's see, I retired. So it would have been 2010, maybe. He checks into my unit. Because every 46 was transitioning to the Osprey.
Oh.
So in comes Tim, and I'm the squadron gunny at the time. And he looks at me, he goes, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm your squadron gunny, bro. And he's like, and it'd been, 14 years since we've seen each other. No, not that many, but it'd been 8-10 years since we've seen each other. And I tell everybody now, if they ask me if I could go back and do it all over again, would I? I absolutely would. I would not change anything. Except I would have fought more for me, because at the end of the day, it's my career. It's not the career jammer's career. She's already having their career, right? It's up to me. I should have fought harder for me. Now, would I be where I'm at today had I done that? Absolutely not, because I would not have met my wife, because I would have been on the med float in 2001. Right, when all this happened, and I probably never would have been on recruiting duty here in Northern Kentucky to meet her. But I tell every young kid, it's your career. You make it with what you want.
Yep.
You're going to get pushback from your command. You're going to get pushback from all your leaders. But at the end of the day, it is all about you. No matter what the Army, the Air Force, Marine Corps, the Navy, Space Force, Coast Guard says, it's all about you at the end of the day.
God, good for you, man. I'm glad you were telling the young recruits that, because it's the truth, man. And I don't know. I saw his name pop up on a notification. I don't know if he's in here, but Brandon Jenkins is a former Navy pilot, and he has a coaching program. That's his whole thing after he retired. And that's what he talks about, the golden path fallacy and finding your own blueprint. And it's so fitting for all of this that we're talking about. So if he's listening, I hope you caught what Gunny just said, because it's really important. It's right up your alley, Brandon.
Yeah. And I tell him to go to Air Force, because it's a better way of life.
I mean, it's too late for him now.
I know, but for the younger kids,
I do. That's exactly what I tell them, man, because I saw the Air Force JTAX re-enlisting for 6 figures tax-free while I was overseas. Meanwhile, I re-enlisted for 6 years for no bonus.
You know what I re-enlisted for? Good of the Corps.
That's it, right?
That's my re-enlistment bonus.
I wanted to be an Army infantryman. That's why. This
I
Army
mean,
life's pretty easy.
The Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps said this crap in a friggin' briefing. Am I right? I think was Sergeant Major Black the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps when he said it, or was he the senior enlisted advisor to the Joint Chief? Anyway, that's it. It was one of the two, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I've been hearing that my entire career.
Right.
You re-enlist for the good of the Corps. We don't give you money. And then I go over to the Air Wing and I realize these guys are getting paid to re-enlist. They get money? Yeah. What do you mean you're going to jump school? You're a crew chief. You don't need jump school for anything.
Because I can.
Because they're offering incentives for people to stay in and jump and scuba and all these other crazy schools were available. I was like, man, I enlisted way too early. What's going on? Now I'm broke.
I told both.
Anything.
I told both my girls. I told both my girls they were talking about going in the military after high school, and I was like, look, if you go into any branch, go in the Air Force. I said, depending on what you want to do in life, like one wants to go into the FBI, right? I was like, look, if you want to do FBI, go Air Force, go, whatever you need to do for path-wise, go Air Force, and then hopefully you get selected into the FBI. My youngest, she wanted to be a medic, and I was like, you could be a Navy medic, or you can go in the Army and be a combat medic, depending on.
You can go in the Air Force and be a medic because there's a guy on my team who is one. Well, he's a nurse now, but officer, but still, they have it.
Yeah. So I didn't even know they had it in the Air Force as a medic. I just thought it was Army and Navy that had the medics. But yeah, I told them both. I said, because one of them said, hey, I want to be with Marines. I was like, well, if you want to be Marines and you want to be a medic, you got to go corpsman. I said, but I don't want you to do that. But now they're figuring out their path. I got one that's a freshman in college. I got another one that's getting ready to graduate this year, and they're still trying to figure out their path. And I'm not going to steer them. If they want to join the military, I'm going to help guide them to the right direction. If they don't want to go, then it is what it is. They're going to do what they need to do. What's up, Rich LaMonica? How are you, sir? Welcome to the show. Michael Webb, this is, I told my boys the same thing. Stay away from the infantry just because I don't want to see them struggle mentally. And I would agree, man. So you were talking about stop loss just a few minutes ago, right? Mm-hmm. When I got out August of 2001, my DD-214 came September 1, right? 9/11 happened. And I got involuntary recalled. I was told, hey, please report back to Camp Lejeune. I was out. I already had my DD-214, but I got recalled back in. It was the first time the Marine Corps ever activated the individual ready reserves. And man, there was, I couldn't even tell you how many. I think like 160,000 Marines that got recalled back in. And you're talking about still in your youth. Here you are, you're out of the military, working a civilian job, and hey, you got to report back. So what do you tell your job and the people that you're around? Hey, I might not come back because I'm going to war. It's just one of those things. It's like, so it definitely stole our youth. And somebody made a comment that, Seps and Taps was useless. And it's just one of those things. It's like when you get out of the military, they train you highly on to do your job. When you get out, it's nothing. Like they don't tell you how to.
It's 2 weeks, right? Like how are we going to justify 2 weeks to undo my
retirement seminar for me was a week.
Yeah,
and I really don't know how long.
8 to 4, every day for a week.
Yeah.
And on the last day, Friday, it's dress for success. Do you think I owned a damn suit?
No, your dress uniform was your suit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My dress blues was my suit.
That's it. Yep. No, and that's the thing, man. Like the problem with it it's condensed into such a short time. And let's just say it's 2 weeks because I really don't know. I didn't have a full TAP being in the med board process, but what I'm hearing coming out of TAP right now is, man, I don't know. Like, they're throwing all these resources at me, and I don't even know where to start with them.
Yeah.
Right. Like drinking from a fire hose. So now you don't even know how to leverage look, I'm not going to say that TAP isn't giving good resources, because I think that they are. Like, I think that there is some valuable things that can come out of TAP, but just not at the pace they want you to learn it. And
so you think they're getting too much at once, and they're getting mental overload for what they're being taught? And
I do think that. I mean, because think about, like, we talked about, like, you said earlier that you think you're an adult when you're in the military, but you're really not, because you don't know how to function in the civilian world like an adult. You're not taking care of insurance. You're not taking care of co-pays, and you don't understand how all this stuff works, right? So naturally, you're winding down your career. You're in this TAP class. You can go to TAP, I think, like up to a year out or something. I don't even know when you can start TAP.
365.
So there you go. So let's just say I'm 365 out. I go to a TAP class at 364 or something like that for 2 weeks. My mind hasn't registered that I'm getting out. Like, that's not real to me yet. I don't yet know how to consume and leverage all of this information that they're sending at me, because I don't even understand the terms that are being thrown around in these resources. Right. And I can remember that when they started talking about, converting TSP over to 401k, or, paying for this insurance and instead of TRICARE, or, like, I didn't understand any of that at 30 years old. Right now, double my career, that's somebody who's 46 years old who did 30 years. What do they know? Even less than probably I knew. They're even more lost because they're even more indoctrinated.
And I think that's why so many sergeants majors, and for us in the Marine Corps, master gunnies, the E8s, E9s stay so close to base.
Yep.
Instead of going back to where they came from.
And don't even get me started on the flag officers, the field grade officers and above, because a lot of them finish their careers in the DC area. So they walk right into these government contracting jobs, which is illegal, by the way.
Or a nonprofit.
Or they've got corporate connections or whatever, because they're rubbing elbows. They're not really doing military shit. They're just rubbing elbows with people, and building their political careers or whatever they're doing. And look, that's not to say, because there are plenty of field grade officers that are in my network that I've had on my show, that I've talked to, that went through the same struggle that all of us did. And I mean, it runs the gamut, man, from the lowest private to the highest general. I had a 2-star on my show who talked about the transition, who wanted to give back. And that's pretty unusual, but he's not one of those, I'm going to go be a government contractor. I'm not going to go, brown nose my way to the top so that I don't struggle when I get out. I'm going to build my own platform. I'm going to help my community because I see the need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we had Lieutenant General Brian Kelly, U.S. Air Force, on the show. He's now the president of MOA, but he said his transition was really, really hard when he got out.
Yeah.
And then he got lucky and found a position that kind of helped him. But when he first got out, he said it was really hard. And here, there's a comment here from Michael Webb. He said, 2 months after I got out, I begged to come back, but they weren't taking prior service at that time. I didn't transition well at all. And that's super hard, because when you get out, you say you do your 4 years, 6 years, whatever, and you get out and you're like, oh man, this civilian world's not for me. And you try to go back in, especially when the military, because the Marine Corps is always downsizing. Sometimes they upsize, sometimes they downsize, but 99%.
They only upsized after 9/11.
Yeah. And trying to go back in, and they're like, oh, well, we're not taking prior service. Well, then you try Army, and then you try other branches. And if they're not taking prior service, you're up a paddle without, or up a creek without a paddle. And it's
if they're not taking prior service in your specialty, because sometimes they won't let you lat move. Sometimes they want you in that specialty.
Yeah, especially the Marines, because infantry guy, if you're an infantry guy in the Marines, that's where you're stuck. 99% of your career is in the infantry. It's so hard. I mean, unless you get hurt
I got blown up and got lucky, so I was able to move that way.
It's all it took. No big deal.
No big deal. The
second time. The first time they're like, no, you're still here. You can still do this. The second time they're like, "Ooh, no, you got to go somewhere else. We don't want you around here."
I had a bunch of surgeries after a bunch of, several deployments, and they still let me be an infantry guy. They were like, "You're not going anywhere."
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like, holy cow. All right, so let's talk about the difference between having motivation and having a strategy.
Well, man, that's a really good question. You can be motivated all you want, but if you never take action and you haven't laid out the steps that you need to take to get to where you're going, what good is the motivation?
Right.
Those
our boss.
I mean,
yep, motivation only gets you so far.
Hey, that's my mentor right there. Shout out to Adam Bird, who I get to spend a week in a hotel room with here coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm so excited about that.
Oh man, just don't let him rub your legs.
I might let him rub my legs.
I love that.
I do think that that's the difference between motivation and actually having a strategy is, I'm motivated to make generational wealth, but if I don't put that shit on paper and the exact steps I need to follow to get there, what good is that motivation?
Yeah.
definitely.
Or you can have motivation for the wrong reasons, right? Yep. You want to make generational wealth, but you're the door greeter at Walmart. You have to lay out that plan to be like, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z. I need to go to college. I need to get this degree. I need to intern for this. I need to apply here and, build those steps to where you want to be to get your end state. Right. And it's just, like I said, you can have all the motivation in the world, but if you don't have a good laid plan, motivation's going to get you so far.
So, I'm highly motivated, but I don't always have a good plan. So like my wife will tell you
No, he doesn't. Because let me tell you, we went to this clinic and he's like, "Hey, we're going to do a podcast down there." Then we get the schedule and I'm like, there's no way we're doing a freaking podcast.
Yeah, there was no way.
9, 10 o'clock every night. There's no way in the world. I could have flown down here instead of driven 13 plus hours to Tampa.
Well, we were supposed to do a podcast. And that wasn't on me. That was the schedule. I did not know that clinic was going to be that intense. Yeah. And I don't think you did either until we got there. And it's
just proved my point. Motivation without a plan gets you
nowhere.
Yeah. We were highly we had full setup. Went and bought extra screens. I brought my setup. He brought his. We were good. And then we get the schedule. We're like, we're not good.
I think really a better way to put it is motivation without action gets you nowhere. Honestly, I mean that's really the truth. I mean, I've been motivated for 2.5 years to figure out how to monetize, but without a plan and without some kind of action, how do you get there? You don't. It never happens. It always stays a pipe dream. And I could still be motivated with a pipe dream.
Yeah. How do you grow your fan base? How do you turn that into money? If I do merch, how do I get the merch out there? Am I out on the front end? Is there somebody that can help me and co-brand? I mean, there's just so many things, right? Yep. And then you're like, oh, I don't think I'm motivated to do this anymore.
Well, and then
you wake up the next day or 2 days later, and you're like, I got it.
Yeah. But to your point, that's what gets a lot of people is they're motivated highly up front. And then they realize they get into it. They start building that plan, start doing the work. And they realize, I'm in way over my head. This is not at all what I thought it was going to be or what I expected it to be. So I'm just going to quit. And then again, they wake up weeks later and they're motivated to do it again. But you have to start all over because inevitably the landscape has changed.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like you said, monetizing your podcast, right? I've talked about it. I thought about it. I do want to monetize. Do I think I'm ready to monetize? Probably not. And the reason being is because I want to grow organically. Like all of the people that come watch our show, that come in here week after week and come back, those are the ones that I want. Because those are the ones that I know what we're putting out, the information we're putting out is what they need to help them in their daily life. Whether they comment or not or whatever, I know that they keep coming back and there's a reason for that. And sometimes I feel like that if you monetize, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. Sometimes, not always.
I relate to that a ton, particularly in the space that we operate in.
Yeah. And it's just like, because like I do have a co-branded shirt, which is this one here with same flag, same oath.com. And he's actually Matt. He's a Navy veteran. He's actually working on a storefront where we're going to have 4 more shirts added. And that, but that's a partnership because I promote him, he's promoting me. So it's a kind of it's a give kind of situation because there's a lot of times you have these sponsors, hey, we want to promote you, but we want you to promote us. We're not going to promote you back. And that's what I look for. I look for, if I'm going to promote somebody, I want them to promote me back. And if they don't do that, then it's not a good fit. So I'm always scared to
have
get
a good relationship, right? And a good relationship is give and take on both parties, right? Not just give. Oh,
yeah.
5 months later, go check out HomeFront SitRep podcast, and then go right from that straight into something that different, and people never even heard what was said, right?
Yeah.
And so it has to be a good give and take and good open line of communications everywhere. But talking about growing your fan base, right? Some of Adam's people may not have known that we existed, but now that he's out here, I'm seeing he's pushing to 2 platforms maybe.
YouTube.
Now they're seeing this and they're like, oh, maybe I'm going to check those guys out next week because they might have something on that I'm interested in. Or they see it pop up and they're like, oh, they got somebody that does fishing and they're in my area. Let me check that out, right? And the same thing, right? So he's pushing to his platforms, and there's people that tune in to watch us that are like, oh, I like what Adam's saying. I think I'm going to tune into his next show and just see what he's all about, right? So you're doing that cross branding, and people are going to eventually, they're going to like him or not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we probably got there's 30 people on here right now that just can't stand me and don't want me.
Hey, fuck them, right? Whatever.
I don't give a damn. I'm still here.
And I'm going to be here tomorrow and the next day.
Well, I'll be here Sunday.
Well, you'll be here Wednesday.
Oh, I'll be here Wednesday night.
And then you won't be here next Sunday, Monday.
Oh, I won't be here Sunday. I'll be in Maine. Damn. I don't even know my own schedule.
Listen. God, this hour has gone by fast, dude. It's already 8:02.
You run your mouth too much, Willis.
Me?
You didn't even let the guests talk.
Me? That's you. So, Adam, is there anything that we haven't hit on that you do want to hit on?
I mean, if we would be here for another 3 or 4 hours, if you left it up to me to talk about all the things I want. No, man, I just want people to understand, like, I'm just out here trying to be the guy I didn't have when I got out, and I think it's really effective. I think, I'm not consumed by monetizing the podcast and making money off the backs of our brothers and sisters. Like, I am genuinely here to help in whatever way I can to make you take those positive steps in the road that is your journey we call life. And so I really just want people to understand, if anything I've said here tonight you agree with, you want more of me, you go to my LinkedIn and you see I've got a large following and you think I'm not going to get to you or answer you. Like, I am just as human as everybody else, and I still control all of everything that I do. So I will answer you. In fact, anybody who connects with me usually gets some kind of message like, hey, thanks for the connection. Let me know how I can help you. So that's just here to help, man. That is my life's work, is to be the guy I didn't have in transition. And my ultimate goal is to just make an impact in the suicide epidemic that plagues our community. Because I do think a lot of the transition is why we're killing ourselves in droves. And I'm guilty of hitting rock bottom. I'm fairly certain both of you are guilty of getting to that point as well. And if not trying, actually making a plan and thinking about it, whether you had the balls to execute it or not, that remains to be seen. Thank God, because you're both here and we're having this conversation. But I got sick and tired of Facebook groups and people saying, man, another one killed themselves. What are we going to do about this? But they stay on the couch. They don't get off their ass and do anything about it. And this is what I came up with. Like it or not, this is what I'm doing. It seems to be effective. I get positive messages daily, from podcast episodes or content that I put out. So I I want people to understand, like, you have a choice in what your life looks like after the military, and it doesn't have to be shoved into whatever box they're trying to shove you in based on your MOS, your skill set, et cetera, et cetera. You can literally create whatever life you want in 2026, and there's plenty of tools and stuff out there that can help you, give you an unfair advantage. AI is what I'm talking about. It's like a cheat code when you know how to use it right. And so that's the message that I'm trying to get out to our veteran community is, like, you don't have to play in the box they're trying to shove you in. You can build your own box, and I promise you're going to be way happier for it. And ask me for help, because I will help you.
Yeah, and Adam, I like to say a lot, and if you follow your passion, you'll find your new purpose.
1000%, brother. I couldn't agree with you more.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
I
would
never
agree 100%.
I never did true skydiving in the Marine Corps, and now I'm on my 12th season with a professional skydive team.
Brother, I'm going on my first skydiving trip in May for my birthday, and I'm afraid that A license package is pretty affordable, and I'm afraid I'm gonna pick up another naughty habit. You know what I mean?
It's expensive, man. It's an expensive habit, but I will tell you. Did you jump when you were in the Army at all?
I did not. No,
okay,
it was just
so I will tell you. 10,000, 12,000, 14,000 feet, whatever it is that they're doing where you're going, take it in.
Yeah.
During that minute of free fall, if you're having a hard time breathing, you have to move both hands and just do this. Put them here to create that bubble so you can get a breath in. But while you're doing that, just look around and see what's out there. And then once that canopy opens and you're not going 120 plus miles an hour anymore, dude, that is going to be one of the most peaceful moments you'll ever have.
I've got a little bit. I know what you're saying about take it all in, because I did go to flight school as part of my journey through what I call my false transition going to college. Being a pilot was the coolest thing ever, man. It's just such a new perspective on life. And so this is the next step for me, is to just do it as a human bird, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, we've had eagles come and fly with right alongside people as they're coming down, because they get used to seeing the certain canopy or a person, and they get comfortable, and they'll come and fly with them. Or
That's
hawks.
awesome.
I mean,
I'm so excited, dude. I'm excited, but I'm also nervous, not for actually jumping, but because I don't need another expensive hobby.
Yeah, I'm glad I can't jump. I'm glad I have shrapnel in some pretty vital areas, because yes, it is expensive. But if I did want to jump because I'm doing what I do, I get discounted price. So I'm pretty good.
And once I get this out of my system down the road, it's paramotoring. That's the ultimate for me. That's the ultimate goal.
See, I think that would be so fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that would be so fun. Yeah. Anyway, I want to say thank you for coming out and hanging out with us for this hour. It went by really quick, and I feel like we could probably talk for another 2 to 3 hours. So thank you for taking time out of your day to come hang out with Gunny and I for this hour. We're going to wrap up the show, but I'm going to throw you in the green room. If you want to hang out, we can chit chat afterwards. But we're going to end the show real quick. But thank you again for coming hanging out with Gunny and I.
No, thank you, fellas. Really appreciate it, man. Super grateful to spend this time with you. And anytime you want to do it again, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll see you Wednesday for sure on Tip of the Spear.
We will. Absolutely. Yeah, Wednesday night.
And that goes off the rails real quick.
Yes, it does.
There's no subject that's off limits on Tip of the Spear.
Let's do it, man. Real freedom is what I hear.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to throw you in the green room, brother.
You freaking cut him off every time. He goes to say thank you, and you're like, cut him off. Come on now.
My bad. Sorry about that, Adam.
Yeah, I did it the entire show to him, and I'm sorry.
So Michael Webb says, where is that? I want to do that. Is he talking about skydiving probably?
Either skydiving or Tip of the Spear. I don't know.
And then Bill Ross, another Marine. Good show. All right.
But no, you can go to USPA and see where there's a drop zone near you. So USPA.com or org. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, sure. Let's see what I can get here tonight.
And he says skydiving, so that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, USPA.com or .org, United States Parachute Association, and you can find a drop zone that's closest to you.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Gunny's Words of Wisdom.
It's not the stab in the back that hurts. It's when you turn around and you see who's holding the knife.
Mm. Say it again.
It's not the stab in the back that hurts. It's when you turn around and you see who's holding the knife.
Clip that. That is so true, though. Thank you, Al, for coming out and watching us over on LinkedIn. Thank you, sir. That's so true, though, Gunny. I mean, it's not the stab in the back; it's the person that's holding it, and that happens to all of us. I mean, there's always that one person that's always going to be the person that's going to stab you in the back, and it's going to be the one that you least expect that's going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch it, Willis. Coming after you.
Coming after me. All right, here we go.
What
You ready?
What you got? Yep.
It's time for the joke of the day.
Thank you, Peter Griffin. Why did the Marine never go inside or sit down?
Why did the Marine never go inside or sit down?
Because being a Marine is outstanding. Oh, I had to go there. I had to go there, Gunny.
I wish I had a wah 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 on my keyboard.
I don't know if I got a wah wah wah.
I'll have to research it here and mark it.
Let's see what's down here. Do we have it? Oh, here.
I wouldn't say that's a boo. I would just say that's a wah wah wah. You know, it's kind of a fail a little bit. It's not a boo.
Yeah,
I'm not-
it was. But I
Speaking
had
of
to go
boo,
there.
speaking of boo,
Oh yeah, the booby.
hey
I like
now,
it. I like it. All right, here we go.
yeah, you're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win. Surround yourself with people that are going to build you up and not tear you down.
Amen. In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You're not alone. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal, we rise, and we carry each other forward. And the key word there is together. Together we heal, together we rise, together we carry each other forward. There's too many people out there that, combat vet versus non-combat vet. We all signed our name on that dotted line, no matter if you were support, whether you were infantry, combat vet, non-combat vet, whatever. We all served our country. We all did our service differently. Gunny and I, we were in a lot of the same places, but I guarantee you, I remember things differently than he remembers things. So we all have our service. We all do it differently. So let's carry each other forward and stop knocking each other down.
Playful banter is
Hashtag
not bad. You know, it's
Yeah.
just the you didn't serve in combat. You don't deserve to be here. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Combat's not sexy. I'll tell you that for sure.
Amen. Hashtag be someone stranger. Listen, guys, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. I can tell you right now, my wife, we've been together for 23 years, and she learned a lot more about me after in the last 2 or 3 years than she did the first 20 years together. So we as humans, we're more apt to talk to complete strangers. So be someone stranger today. And what I mean by that is when you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And if they give you the red flags, "I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living the dream," ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for that conversation. Could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for it. And just listen to them. Don't friggin' try to fix them. Just listen. Let them vent. You never know. You might save that person's life.
Yeah, it takes a village. We can't do this on our own. As much as we want to try, you're gonna need some help with this. I cannot go through what I've been going through the past weekend by myself. And if I did, I probably wouldn't be here. But everybody has a great network of friends, acquaintances, whatever that they can reach out to and just be an ear or be somebody else's ear. Pick up that phone, go through your contacts, hit a name blindly. They answer, "Hey, how you doing? Just checking on you. Hey, I need to talk." Who knows? Your voice might be the one that they need to hear that day.
Amen. Amen. All right. So now this time of the show, we're going to talk about our community partners real quick. Up first, we got sofmissions.org. Man, this is a top tier veteran nonprofit down in Tampa, Florida, founded by United States Marine veteran Damon Freeman and his wife. What?
You didn't see Julie's comment?
No, I got it on this.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Check out sofmissions.org. Man, we went down there for that 5-day clinic, and like Gunny and I were saying, it was busy from day 2 to the end day, and man, it was well worth it. I went to another organization out in Texas, and I did not get what I thought I would get from the organization out there. But when we went to Tampa, I didn't expect much, and what we got was a lot. And
Yeah,
it's
the individual care, the individual aftercare separates them from every single nonprofit that's out there. And
yeah,
I've been in the nonprofit world for a long time, and the follow up, the aftercare, the 365 aftercare, if you choose to participate, is unmatched.
yeah, it's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
That's phenomenal.
Now we already touched on heroesmediagroup.com. I don't know if Adam Bird's still in here or not, but man, check out HMG. We've been a proud family member of HMG now for going over a little over 2 years. Adam Bird has created something that's friggin' amazing. So check out heroesmediagroup.com. That's heroesmediagroup.com. Up next is reaseacrossamerica.org/radio. We have been on Reese Across America radio now for almost 2 years. Every Thursday night, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. We are on Reese Across America radio. So you can check that out on reaseacrossamerica.org/radio. Up next, we got sameflagsameoath.com. This is a small t-shirt company outside of Katy, Texas. You can see our shirt there in the bottom corner there. It says Marine It Down. It's written in red crown. If you're a Marine and you're watching this and you ain't bought you one yet, why not?
You ain't
Go,
bought you one?
yeah, you ain't bought one yet. Go get you one now, boy. So go check out sameflagsameoath.com. Go to co-branded. You scroll down till you find it there. Jesus, my wife is commenting like crazy. Up next is eliteengraving24.com. That's eliteengraving24.com. Gunny is wearing one of our hats right there. He's got the other one right there. It's
Hey,
got the
wait,
red
why am I wearing this hat? I've already wore this on the show.
because you went through all your hats already.
I went through 100 plus hats. That's how long I've been doing this daggum stinking show with you. So
Right.
now I've turned to patches. So now
Now you've got
I'll go through my
patches.
patches. We'll figure something out after that.
So go check out eliteengraving24.com. All right, Gunny, you're up on this one.
Yeah, Valor Coins and Pins. Brent and Brian Casey, the grandsons of the late Woody Williams. Anything you need, coin, pin, medals like first place, second place, whatever, or just you want to make medals for participation or whatever, or poker chips. Brent and Brian will take care of all your needs. A portion of the proceeds from every order goes to support the Woody Williams Foundation and building the Gold Star Memorial monuments across the nation. Yeah, RDC shoes. Oh my gosh, Darren Davis, Marine veteran, former law enforcement officer. Him and his wife started this company, RDC Shoes. Their shoes are very comfortable. They're pretty amazing. They have the Patriot shoe right now, and the Glory. And what's Glory is red
The
and
folds
white
of
with blue
yeah.
tongue. And a portion of those sales for that go to support the Williams Foundation as well. And then the Patriot shoe is blue, like the blue field with a red and white tongue. And on the back of those right now is Folds of Honor. And a portion of the proceeds will go to support Folds of Honor for scholarships for children of fallen service members and severely wounded service members.
Yeah, so go check out rdcshoes.com. All right, up next is HomeFrontSitRep.com. You can see all these great veteran business owners, veteran authors, veteran nonprofits, everything that we've had on this show. It does need to be updated. We will be updating that soon. So go check out HomeFrontSitRep.com. You can actually go there and see and click on merch, and you can see our hat and our shirt that Uncle Sam is wearing. He still ain't washed it yet, so he's stinking back there. I'm gonna have to take him upstairs and wash him. But yeah, Uncle Sam's wearing it. So go check out HomeFrontSitRep.com. Other than that, my friend, I think that's it for the night.
Yeah, we will see everybody Wednesday at 7 p.m. for the Tip of the Spear. Again, no topic is off limits for the Tip of the Spear. If you're out there and you want us to discuss something or you have questions, feel free to jump in and ask those questions in the chat.
Amen. But like we always say on Homefront Sit Rep, stay safe out there. We got your
six.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront SitRep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.